Hey everybody, my name's Rob Duncan, and I guess you could say I'm an adventure junkie. You just finished watching my video featuring the brown bears of Lake Clark National Park in Alaska. This video talks about that adventure. We start at the Kenai Airport, where we boarded a Britten-Norman BN-2 Islander aircraft. These planes were built in the UK back in the 1960s. But if you can get their twin engines started, they make fantastic Alaskan bush planes. Once we were airborne, the plane turned west and flew across the Cook Inlet. We flew down its western edge to Chinitna Bay. Even though I had the crappiest seat in the plane, the views were still spectacular. We flew over valleys with glacier-fed streams. We even passed by some active volcanoes, including Mount Redoubt. It last erupted back in 2009. This coastline is rugged and wild, unlike anything I had ever seen before. It takes about an hour for the plane to cross the Cook Inlet and fly down to Chinitna Bay. You hardly notice the time though because of the views. My eyes are fixed on the beaches and meadows as we start our descent, hopeful that maybe I'll see a bear digging for razor clams at the water's edge or out grazing on grasses and sedges in the meadows. As we make our final approach, I notice other planes down on the beach. These make the 30-minute flight over from Homer, bringing day trippers to see the bears. We pass low over the camp and then swing to the right. You can look out over the meadows and see many bears grazing on the grass. What an incredible view. We make a final sweeping turn over the bay and come in low over the water. This approach is not for the faint of heart. From where I was sitting, I couldn't even see the beach. As the plane got lower and lower, I was convinced we were going to do a splashdown instead of touchdown. And touchdown! After about a year of planning, I've finally made it to bear camp. Nothing can really prepare you for landing a plane on the beach. It's bumpy, it's noisy. At some points you think the landing gear are going to be ripped off. Any fear I may have had quickly gets surpassed by anticipation and excitement. Let's get this plane stopped, get our gear unloaded, and get out in the field. I can't wait to see some bears. We were greeted on the beach by the bear camp crew. They unloaded our gear and transferred supplies and trash to the plane. Before you knew it, the Islander was rolling down the beach, slowly lifting off into the distance with the guests that were there before us. Little did we know this would be the last time we would see the Islander or any other aircraft for 5 days. Welcome to bear camp. Bear Camp is located on the original homestead of Wayne Byers. Wayne moved here in the 60s and trapped and fished for most of his life. When that was no longer sustainable, he made arrangements with Great Alaska Adventure Lodge in Sterling. They would bring their guests out to meet Wayne, take in the Great Alaskan beauty, but more importantly, meet the bears. There was no other place quite like this. There is an electric fence that surrounds the camp for safety. There are 10 heated, weatherproof tents for guests. They have very comfortable beds and even a bathroom in the back. They have a dedicated dining hall where all the meals were prepared by an amazing chef. It doubled as a gaming center when the weather was too bad to go outside. We never left the camp without an experienced guide. He was armed with a large caliber handgun and a big can of bear spray. Like the electric fence around the camp, I feel this was just more or less to keep the guests at ease. But you never know who you might run into in the forest. The weather in Alaska is legendary. If you turn your back on it for just a moment, it can definitely ruin your day. It was because of this weather that I got stranded at bear camp for 3 extra days, but my preparedness and the professionalism of the bear camp crew kept me warm, dry, and safe. There's a saying in Alaska: there are old pilots and there are bold pilots, but there are no old, bold pilots. I can't really say how old the pilots at North Air are, but they were certainly not bold. Okay, who are we fooling? You've got to be a little bold to land a plane like this. Once the Islander was on the ground, they quickly unloaded the new guests and their gear. We hardly had time to say goodbye to the bear camp crew before we were quickly loaded on board and prepped for takeoff.
Any questions? My name's Drew, by the way.
All right, Drew.
Thank you, Drew.
You're welcome.
Glad to see you, Drew.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, not much we could have done yesterday. It was
bad.
Understandable. Better to be safe than sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the record, we had a good time.
I bet you
A
did.
blast. Amazing. Unforgettable.
I've heard those words before.
I'm sure you have. As we lifted off, I started to reflect on the past few days. What an incredible experience this has been. For me, life's about experiences, and I have to say this is one of the greatest experiences of my life. The people, the animals, the scenery, even this plane ride are huge checks off my bucket list. If you ever have an opportunity to make it out here, I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching this video, and please, get out there, experience this amazing world we live in.